All Blacks head coach Scott Robertson has confirmed that Jordy Barrett will undergo a scan on his knee after picking up an injury during their tight 31-28 victory over the Wallabies. Barrett was taken off just after halftime, with Anton Lienert-Brown stepping in to replace him. Now, the big question is whether Barrett will be fit in time for upcoming matches, or if the All Blacks will need to reshuffle their lineup. If you're a fan of the All Blacks, write "Go All Blacks" in the comments and subscribe to the channel. Speaking after the match, Robertson shared that Barrett, who is set to join Leinster in December, might have suffered an MCL injury. He's got a medial knee issue, so we'll have to get that scanned, Robertson told the press. At this moment, we don't know the full extent of the injury or how long he might be sidelined. So, who could step in for Jordy if he's out? Lienert-Brown seems like the obvious choice, especially since he's already filled that spot during the game. He's played more in the 13 position recently, but he's definitely capable at 12. Robertson even hinted that this might be an opportunity to give some other players a chance to shine. We might even see Harry Plummer get his shot. Plummer was called up last minute after Beauden Barrett had to pull out with an illness, and he made his debut appearance off the bench. Could he be in the starting lineup for the next test? It's a big moment for him, considering he's been an essential part of the Blues' Super Rugby success this season. Robertson also hinted at some experimentation with new players. Sometimes when your hand's forced, it works out with guys taking opportunities, he said, suggesting we might see some fresh faces. This could be a great time for players like Plummer to make a real impact, especially since the All Blacks are already out of the running for the Rugby Championship title this year. Why not give the young guns a shot? On a brighter note, there's a positive update regarding Beauden Barrett. Despite having to miss the Wallabies game due to illness, Robertson reassured fans that it's nothing serious, just a bug. This means we could see Beauden back in action soon, possibly as early as the next game, which is a massive relief for the team. In summary, Jordy Barrett's knee injury is still under review, with potential replacements like Lienert-Brown and Harry Plummer waiting in the wings. Robertson has hinted at trying out new talent, which could shake up the lineup for the upcoming matches. Beauden Barrett, on the other hand, is expected to bounce back from his illness, which is great news for the All Blacks fans. All Blacks playmakers Damian McKenzie and Beauden Barrett, and head coach Scott Robertson. James Foy /Speed Media AU /Icon Sports Wire. Following Scott Robertson's team announcement for the All Blacks' first test against the Wallabies, here are our winners and losers from the 23 named for the Rugby Championship clash in Sydney. New Zealand have once again made a few changes, which includes returning to the Damian McKenzie-Beauden Barrett playmaking axis with Will Jordan moving back to the wing. They have also kept faith with some of their younger players as an experienced few have paid the price for their displays in South Africa. We unpack the matchday squad and pick out our winners and losers from Robertson's selections. Winners. You can't deny Robertson's loyalty, with the head coach backing the playmaker to the hilt in the fly half jersey. McKenzie is not playing poorly, but it is the only position in the backline which the All Blacks boss has not changed at some point this year, and he is sending a message that the 29-year-old is his man at number 10. After their trialist performance in Cape Town, we thought Beauden Barrett might get given an opportunity, but McKenzie has once again been preferred. There are plenty of nice things from the Chief star, but at the moment it is just not quite clicking in attack for New Zealand. They will hope that changes in Sydney. As mentioned, it is not at fly half, but the great playmaker returns to the 15, underlying his importance to the squad. Robertson put him on the bench in the second Springboks test, hoping that he could provide the late impact they didn't have in Johannesburg, but ultimately it took away their threat from the start. Having Barrett as an extra pair of eyes has been vital for McKenzie in 2024, and no doubt that combination will once again be important this weekend. While Will Jordan wants to play at fullback, they do need to fit in that second playmaker somewhere, and it is therefore logical for the 33-year-old to come back in. It was a big challenge for the Chiefs forward against the physically imposing Springboks, but he passed it with flying colors, especially his display in the second test. As a result, Vi stays in the starting lineup despite the return of Patrick Tuipulotu from injury. His effort in Cape Town could perhaps prove to be his breakthrough moment in Test rugby, as he looks to cement himself in the second row alongside Captain Scott Barrett. Vi has always had the talent, but this tournament could well be the time that he shows he is ready to take that next step. Robertson has opted for the inexperienced prop, who looks set to make his second test appearance after debuting against Fiji in July. Following Fletcher Newell's injury, Tosi was the only out-and-out tight head in the wider squad, but Robertson could have easily opted for Ofa Tu'ungafasi or Tamati Williams as options, given that both cover that position. However, the 26-year-old Hurricane gets the nod to face the Wallabies. It would have been strange to have dropped Wallace Satiti given his performance in Cape Town, but you never know how coaches will handle their young players. However, Satiti retains his place in the side and hopefully, he will produce another fine effort this time to potentially convince the All Blacks boss that number 8 is his best slot. For now, Artie Savia continues at the base of the scrum and he will once again link with Cortez Radama in the crucial 8-9 axis. Radama also played well out in South Africa, showing great maturity despite his tender years, and he has another opportunity to nail down the position. Losers. The speedster keeps his place in the team, but New Zealand's fullback experiment lasted just one match with Jordan moved back to the wing. It is fair to say that it did not work out for the Crusaders star in South Africa as he struggled to make an impact. What is counting against the 26-year-old is that the All Blacks need an extra playmaker in the back line and, unfortunately for him, that can only come at fullback, especially with Jordy Barrett, the nailed-on 12. Although the younger Barrett has a nice passing and kicking game, he doesn't have the natural vision and creativity of his older brother, which is impacting Jordan's chances of taking that fullback jersey. It has been a strange year for the wing. Start one week and then drop the next. While Telia had been an ever-present in the 23, you don't feel that he is entirely trusted by Robertson, who benched him for games against Argentina and South Africa. Although the Flyer returned for the second Springboks test, he has now been discarded from the 23 altogether. We don't think his form has been poor, but obviously Robertson has not been convinced by his displays so far in 2024. Returned from injury ahead of this game against the Wallabies, but did not make the 23. He would have been the ideal impact replacement, but Robertson has given youngster Sam Derry another opportunity. Derry has been impressive whenever he has taken to the field, but it also shows that Tuipulotu has not quite been at his best when in the team. The powerhouse Blues forward is an experienced campaigner, but he has endured a disrupted 2024 test season so far. Missed the second box clash due to injury, but he wasn't named as one of their enforced absentees for Bledisloe I when the squad was announced. No doubt the form of Satiti has something to do with that, as the youngster was magnificent last time out, but we thought a bench spot would be forthcoming. However, Luke Jacobson gets the nod instead. There is not much between those two in terms of what they offer as a replacement, with both players incredibly versatile and able to feature in all three back row positions. Jacobson may be a slightly better line-out operator, but it is an interesting call from Robertson. Tu'ungafasi has been the go-to loose head off the bench, but he has paid the price for his display last time out. Following Ethan de Groot's return from a neck injury, the Blues prop misses out on the 23 for the first time in the Rugby Championship. That means Tamati Williams, who had started the past 3 internationals, is among the replacements. Ordinarily, Williams would be alongside Fletcher Newell on the New Zealand bench, but the tight head will miss this game due to injury. The first match of the 2024 Bledisloe Cup sees the Wallabies host the All Blacks in Sydney this weekend. The debate over Damian McKenzie and Beauden Barrett rages on. Scott Robertson has made 4 alterations to his matchday 23. All Blacks legend Aaron Smith gives his view on the current side. If you are a fan of All Blacks, right, go All Blacks in the comments and subscribe to the channel. Now, it's your turn. What do you think of the latest All Blacks selections?